switch it over and like go live, as it were. Alrighty, so we'll do a quick little recap. So last time, Buzzkill and Pip, you guys took the train to the farm upstate.
Yep.
Logan and Lodestone faced down some sentinels, and John was given the knowledge that the mutant that was scheduled to be executed was basically public enemy number one, Magneto, possibly the most powerful mutant on the planet. Trying to figure out what to do with all of these various sort of things. Pip managed to kind of slip free of whatever mental influence was affecting her that led to her kind of sheep-like behavior. She snapped Buzzkill out of it as well, and then kind of shrunk the two of them down so that they could gather some intel. Listening in on some conversations, it became quite apparent that the senator, Senator McGrafton, seems to have some sort of power that the guards were expecting would wear off at some point. Possibly explaining why everybody was so complacent. You discovered throughout some of the train cars there were these nozzle or gun-like devices. Probably nothing good, but you guys never did investigate them to find out what exactly they did. While you were scouring around, you also found this older man mumbling to himself in Hebrew. And when you made yourself known to him, he addressed Pip as Janet and Buzzkill as Scott. He seemed quite confused. But when you finally kind of got through to him, he unleashed some sort of demonic entity from within himself, and basically tore through the guards and the purifiers, leaving like nothing but death and hellfire. When you kind of said, "Hey, we could use your help," after he kind of bottled the demon back up, he refused. He said that what he had was too dangerous to be allowed to let loose. And alluded to the fact that whatever it was that he contained within himself would like nothing more than to kill everything.
And for the viewers, just to recap, there was like mummy wraps and a flaming skull. So
yes. It is the spirit of vengeance who has taken over Mark Spector as opposed to Johnny Blaze.
What could go wrong with an insane ghost rider?
Possibly go wrong.
So, of the, no Johnny Blaze, no Danny Ketch, no, I can't remember the other guy's name, the guy with the car. Nope. Good old Moon Knight, since he, is a servant of the Egyptian god of vengeance. Apparently, Xanathos thought, oh, hey, I can help you out here. But yeah, he seemed to be very cognizant of the fact that he was containing this thing as opposed to using it.
Guy makes so many bad decisions.
Lodestone and Logan were both gassed by the Sentinels. John managed to kind of energy path his way back to them and catch up with them as they were leaving. Thankfully, the gas did not seem to take hold as strongly as the Sentinels probably would have liked. And as they were flying over part of Manhattan, Lodestone came to first. Uses magnetic powers to screw around with the Sentinel, causing it to fall to the ground. Logan came to and did what he does best, also causing it to crash into the ground, basically letting gravity do most of the heavy lifting on defeating these Sentinels. Though not without some significant collateral damage to the area, as seems to be par for the course.
It's a Marvel game.
Eventually, you guys met up at the train station with Pip and Buzzkill. your home, for lack of a better term, has been compromised. The Sentinels have found it and all of the gear and everything that was there. Whether or not it's reclaimable, you don't know. You decided to follow the train tracks to see where they led, which led you. It did, in fact, lead to upstate New York, but to a very, very kind of low tech internment camp. Not like the work camps that are in Manhattan, but more of like those galvanized steel hut like buildings, those prefab concept huts. One of which has a generator. There's a few guards around. It's not super heavily guarded. The whole thing just kind of reeks of like low key, under the radar, try not to draw attention sort of thing. There are not enough huts here to house all of the mutants that would have been on the train had Buzzkill and Pip not gotten them out. Pip decided to shrink herself and Buzzkill and kind of get the lay of the land. And while you were searching through the camp, inside one of the buildings, kind of set up like cells, like essentially kind of like 4 cells, was a gentleman who identified himself as Eric, as Magneto, wearing an inhibitor collar, but otherwise it does not appear to be any the worse for wear, and was just kind of reading a book when you guys entered. And I believe that's where we left off.
Right.
So where is everybody at the moment?
My understanding is that John and Lodestone are outside the camp, and Buzzkill and Pip have shrunk down and gone in, kind of nosing around.
Okay.
We're in Magneto's cell. We're just outside of it, wherever that happens to be. Right there. Okay.
Are we busting them out? That's the question.
I kind of think we have to, don't we? I mean, they're going to kill him. That's not right.
Can we see him?
Yeah, he's
Right there.
Right there, right? Yeah.
Right there.
You got a collar on or anything?
he does have a inhibitor collar on.
Can I make a roll and see if I can get rid of that collar or short out the collar?
You can certainly try.
While he's doing that, I will snoop around and see if I can find any kind of a key or deactivator.
Then we can talk to him, right?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, we have been.
He's introduced himself. He's like, well, this is an odd turn of events.
I'm Lincoln Davis. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Magneto. My mutant name is Buzzkill. I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try to get that power dampening device off from around your neck. I apologize if this stings a bit. And I will spend hero points on this roll, or karma rather on this roll. Sorry, wrong game. And I would like to fry it so bad that it doesn't leave a mark, but it pops right off his neck. Yeah. It's smoking. I rolled an 84.
What's your power rank?
Remarkable. I'm just trying to see where my chart is there.
Sorry. So if you spend 11, that'll get you up to a red.
11's great number.
I mean,
Because I was spending 10 anyway.
yeah, that's just it. You're spending 10 anyway, so you may as well spend 11.
And how did it work? Or did it work?
All right. So Pip, you're taking a look around. It doesn't look like there's anything anything in here that looks like it's like a key or a remote or anything for the collars. Odds are they probably don't keep it in the cell room with the, you know, super dangerous mutant. But as you're looking around, Buzzkill and like Buzzkill's still, like 4 inches tall. Kind of like flies up, kind of channels his electrical stuff through, and pop, the collar pops open.
That's awesome.
Is it?
Mr. Magneto, can you test your powers?
So outside the encampment there, Lodestone and John, Lodestone, you've been gathering up like some debris, like parts of the train tracks and things of that nature, to kind of turn into missiles should you need them. And you look and you see one of the huts just kind of like fly up into the air.
Grandpa's free.
Well, I would have preferred to have a conversation about that particular idea, but
Well, they found them.
I don't suppose you could get us up there.
I can only get us. Well, maybe, but I'll have to bring some wind up. Would that be too on the nose?
And as you guys are going, like, oh, that might be a little noticeable, like sirens start going off, and there is like shouting coming from the camp.
What is it exactly that you need to be able to do your travel thing?
Either an electricity path or a data path.
Oh, I think I can manage that.
He's awful calm about this.
So I'm going to try to grab a cable from the generator,
Okay,
which I assume is still working,
it is.
and connect it to the building, or get it close to the top of the building, so at the very least we can kind of take a ride on that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I'm gonna assist with energy manipulation to try to make the rest of the path with solidifying electricity.
Give me 1 sec here while I drop some zones on this map.
I think it's important to note that Chris calls this a lot of lightly guarded encampment.
It is. You don't see any sentinels.
Mandroids are just as much of a pain in the butt as the Mark IVs or whatever we've been running into.
Yeah, so far you guys have only run into like the low grade.
The low end bosses, yeah.
There we go. That should give you guys an idea as to roughly where areas are.
Sure.
All right. And we will say the one marked with the circle is the generator.
Oof. Okay, that's not great.
All right. So Buzzkill and Pip. See, Magneto just kind of reaches out his hand and thinks for a second, and the building that you're in basically just kind of like lifts off. So you guys are like standing on the kind of the poured cement floor of this metal hut. The hut itself like lifts off the foundation, so you guys are still on the ground. You're not going with the building,
Okay.
but the entire building lifts up into the air.
Does Magneto go with it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Mm,
But at this point, initiative and declarations are probably going to be important. So there are a bunch of people running towards it. So like all of the attention is focused on where that building used to be.
mhm.
So you see like some of the anti-mutant guards. You see some of the folks in the purifier armor. You see two mandroids basically launch from one of the roofs.
Uh-oh.
All focused on the building you're in, or the foundation that you're standing on.
This can't be good.
I think we should be elsewhere.
Yeah, me too.
Can we see Magneto?
You guys cannot see Magneto, but I mean, you've got an idea that he's out and about and active. And as
My initial plan was to energy bat us to the generator.
okay,
Unless Lodestone has a better idea.
I do not.
And even
But
if you did, you'd be there before he told you.
yeah, we all have to declare though, right?
you do, yes.
So my declaration is to wait for John. Well, John's going to take us first. And then I'm going to make a huge magnetic field right here.
Okay.
And just suck in as many buildings and people and mandroids and everything else as possible.
All right. Pip and Buzzkill, what would you guys like to do?
I'm running for cover.
Okay.
As fast as my itty bitty legs will take me.
I'm not shrunk or anything, am I?
You are.
Yeah, I shrank you.
Do you want me to grab you and just beeline it into the sky?
Sure.
I'm gonna
Anywhere
grab. That's
not
my
you.
plan. Let's say,
Because
yeah.
he's either going to chuck that building at the guards and mandroid things, or at us, or bring it straight back down again and bust it all to hell. Chuck it at the generator. I would
Buzzkill
like
only
to be
knows
out of
Magneto
range
from the
of all that.
legends. He's not going to hurt mutants unless the mutants stand in his way. We rescued him. He's not going to hurt us. That's what
Crossing
Buzzkill thinks.
fingers.
I don't know what's happened the last 20 years. Maybe things have changed. I don't know. Buzzkill only knows the legends.
Could
But
be
he'll grab
insane.
you and fly straight up.
Perfect.
All right. Let's roll some initiative.
I assume you want me to do that?
You definitely don't want me to. Yeah, see, that would have tipped over to the 1 if I had rolled.
Oh, I actually
good try.
rolled really well. But you guys get to go first.
Seeing the world at super speed is very helpful.
All right. So,
I assume I would start.
Yep.
Yes, over there.
So you just go riding the energy waves over to the generator.
Yep.
Um,
Is that a movement?
yeah, you can still do a thing.
I'll just solidify electricity around me to make a protection.
Okay, perfect. And you notice as you guys kind of like energy path like direct route to the generator, you almost get pulled off the path.
Oh,
Basically,
magnetic field.
the magnetic field is so strong.
Oh, I gotta watch out for that.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys zoop over to the generator. John solidifies this energy shield kind of like in front of him that offers him some degree of protection.
Yeah, so I'm going to do what I can to. It seems like an attack, but I'm actually trying to help these people. If I can disarm them, hopefully Magneto won't kill them. But for a move, I'm going to get behind John and his energy shield.
Okay.
And then I'll make a magnetic force here. And just suck in as much stuff as I can.
Okay. Right. So yeah, some of the buildings in the nearby, like they start to warble and stuff because I mean that the galvanized steel isn't not terribly strong in the grand scheme of things, and some of the weapons, but not all of the weapons, get pulled to the center. You have the feeling that perhaps the people who are guarding Magneto may not have a whole bunch of metal on them.
That makes sense.
Yep, the buildings will come soon.
Yep. All right. Buzzkill and Pip.
Grabbing Pip and going straight up.
I'm hanging on.
Higher
for
than
dear.
the house.
Okay, so you go 3 areas up.
Yeah, if we need to do charging attacks, we'll have a pretty good leeway.
If I look down, can I spot John and Lodestone?
Oh yes.
Okay. Hey! Oh shit. They might be in trouble.
All right, so there is some blaster fire from the guards towards the escaping mutants.
Hopefully we are too small for them to see.
They do need a 61 or better to hit you. So against Pip.
Damn it.
Uh,
Oh.
so that is going to be 37 points of damage to Pip.
Ouch.
Oh, all right, because they're small.
Yep. And against Buzzkill, 7. And then a bunch of shots at Magneto.
7? That means I'm okay? And I'm not dropping Pip?
Yeah, I only rolled a 7, so.
Good on us, Pip.
Yep.
3 air is a long way to the ground. That's a charging attack against the ground.
So a bunch of the other ones, they kind of like get into position. They get into position, kind of like, proper stance, fire at Magneto. They're firing energy blasts. They're not firing conventional bullets. And still, they just like warp around him as a result of the strength of his magnetic field. Like, his magnetic field is so strong, it's actually capable of bending energy. Mandroids. Mandroids are quite far away. They have not seen Pip and Buzzkill. fly in. They're going to try to hit it with a neutralizer.
That's a good shot.
So they fire this kind of like greenish beam at Magneto. One of them misses him by a fair bit. One of them strikes him, and you do see that building that he's holding aloft kind of start to wobble ever so slightly. The mandroids do not seem to be affected by your magnetic field at all. Oh, and I completely forgot what Magneto was going to do. He just throws the building like across the camp, where a bunch of like purifiers are coming out of one of the barracks or sort of things. Like he throws it and then he just shoves it hard until both buildings become these crumpled messes with what used to be people in between them.
Yeah, that's the intent of that magnetic field that I made, was to try to prevent death, not destruction, but death.
Yep. All right, but yeah, you do see one of those beams strikes him, and he does seem to like momentarily lose a little bit of his power. Back around to you guys. Declarations.
I will be doing a lot of evading.
Okay.
Grandfather, we need to leave. And I'm going to move this circle there. And I know they don't have metal weapons, but they are surrounded by metal buildings. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
and again, the idea is just to get them away from the fight. I don't want Magneto to kill them, is what I'm trying to accomplish.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Pip and John.
I'm healing slowly and going where Buzzkill takes me.
Okay.
Hanging on for dear life.
All right.
Has any of the guard been knocked out by that?
No, there were some more people coming to join the fray from a barracks or something, but now the barracks and the building that was previously the jail have become one with the people in between them.
So nobody can zap out of here. Could I make a physical barrier with energy solidification to protect me and Lodestone from flying debris?
You can certainly try, yes.
Yep.
There's definitely enough energy coming out of the generator.
Good. I'll try that.
All right. They're going to do that. Magneto is going to do that. All right. Initiative time.
Oh, you beat me.
Doesn't happen often.
No.
Twice in 6 sessions or so.
So there. Actually, Buzzkill, I will get you to make your evasion roll.
What roll, Ruby?
What's your agility?
Remarkable, I think. Yes.
That is a white. That is an auto hit.
Here comes the ground again.
Actually, sorry. This would be dodging, not evading. So there are no modifiers to them. I have to remember, evasion is fighting in this.
Oh, okay.
All right. So they still need a 61 to hit you.
Well, that's bigger than a
Ouch.
61.
Just shy of a yellow, actually.
Oh no.
So that is going to be 26 points of damage.
Unless I'm stunned, I
Both of
don't think I drop Pip. 26 points of damage?
Yep.
To both of us?
No,
Nope. Just buzzkill.
Oh,
and I don't think I've dropped you.
here's hoping not.
As long as your energy sheath hasn't dropped, you're fine.
I don't
Wait a second. Let me check that. I forgot about the energy sheath. How much damage did you do, you said?
26.
26. So that's still 59 then. But my energy sheath is gone and we're plummeting.
Oh no.
But the energy sheath was only 16.
All right.
Yeah, you rolled a really bad weakness.
I didn't roll it. I just picked it. I didn't even give myself a bonus for it. I just thought it'd be cool story-wise. If I was smart, I would have negotiated and got a increase to agility or something. Or energy sheath.
Or energy sheath.
If you bump that up to remarkable for this weakness, that'd been great. A little late to negotiate now, though.
Well, you're really small, so your terminal velocity will be less. Well, actually, your mass is the same, and your
Yeah, it is.
size is smaller, so
The
it'll
crater
probably
will be
more.
smaller. The crater will be smaller.
Bug, meet windshield.
Ant, meat, boot.
All right.
If the bug weighs as much as 16 years old, maybe the windshield will have a bad day.
So the good news is that it is only concrete, so it's material strength of excellent.
Oh no.
Your 3 areas up. So that is going to be 19 points of damage to each of you.
You still up?
Ouch. Yep.
Me too.
I'm 40 now.
I'm at 40.
Yeah, me too.
The good news is you drop so suddenly that the other shot at you misses.
Oh, thank goodness.
Part of the plan.
Oh yeah, totally.
A bunch more of the cops shoot at Magneto to no effect. And the Mandroids are going to keep trying their neutralizers on him. So you see the 2 Mandroids, they're firing these beams, and when they hit him, they kind of like, they're almost, it's less like an attack and more like a kind of a tractor beam, as this beam kind of stays on him, kind of draining his power a little bit as they kind of move ever so slightly closer. Oh, these purifiers are shit. Right. That is all of them. You guys are up.
I'm going to try to get my energy shield back on.
Okay. So you need to get a red result.
Yeah. And I will yell out, Mr. Magneto, they've overloaded my power, I think. And then I will make my roll when it's my turn.
Okay. Right. You guys were evading, so that leaves us with Lodestone and John.
John's making a shield, I think.
Yep.
Yep, I'm rigging a wall to protect. So.
Okay. All right. So the energy from the generator kind of arcs around. You don't have to roll for it or anything. But what's the power rank for you?
Let me just double check. For energy certification, it's amazing.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so this like the energy kind of arcs up and then kind of interlaces and solidifies, shunk, uh, which is probably good because at around that time, uh, yeah, Magneto is pissed off at people. Oh, he rolled such shitty roll. But you guys can see Magneto is like holding his hand out, and he doesn't have the same control that he normally does. Those nullifiers are definitely having an effect on him. But you guys can feel like the buildings around you start to shake and vibrate, and the train tracks that lead into the encampment, you can hear them starting to like basically twist and pop.
Well, that'll work with my action pretty well. Which was to basically bring as much metal into this center zone as I can.
Perfect. Why don't we call that? Make a power roll.
Pow-
Yeah. Basically, the higher the color, the more effect you'll have.
Right. So magnetism is amazing. Which means I need green is a 36. I'll spend karma. I got a bunch.
Okay.
And I'm showing off for grandfather.
Aren't we all? I just loved it.
58, so that's 68. Easily yellow.
Yeah. Unless you want to spend a bunch more to push it into red.
I don't think so.
Right.
There's no need for us to stay here. We can leave, grandfather.
Right. So the your magnetic field starts to pull in like buildings, and like some of the smaller pieces, like a door flies off and like hits one of them androids, and a cop gets like hit with a couple of like loose screws that were kicking around. Magneto will look at you and say like, they'll pay for this.
They don't have to pay for their lives. They don't know any better.
And next round.
Well, Lodestone, I don't know about you, but that building doesn't feel as safe as it used to, and I'm thinking about being somewhere else. Have you any preference on the where else you'd like to be?
Perhaps in the grass where we started.
This I can do. My action will be to grab Lodestone and move us around with energy pad.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
John, do you think that you could spin us by close to Magneto?
I can drop you by, yeah.
No, just swing us by. Don't drop me off.
Okay, just a peekaboo.
Arm's reach.
How high is he?
He's still standing like on the concrete foundation of that building.
Okay, if I take both my movement action and a normal action, can I move, reappear, and then remove after that?
I'll say for that you'll have to make a power roll.
Okay.
Okay.
So my declaration, Chris, if this works, is I'm going to grab like a pipe or something off the top of this building.
Okay.
Or it doesn't have to be very big. Something metallic, but something small.
Okay.
And I want to use my sleight of hand to slip it into Magneto's possession.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to do 2 actions. When we land on the other side, I'm going to try to pull him to us.
Okay. All right, Pip and Buzzkill, you guys have just impacted hard with the cement.
Oh.
I want to try to regenerate my force field.
Okay.
And dodge if I get a bonus.
All right. Pip, what would you like to do?
I like to dodge being hit
Okay.
as I try to make my way over toward Lodestone and John.
Okay. Perfect. All right. That'll be initiative time. Oh. Heroes go first.
Man, you're really good for initiative.
I did roll good for initiative twice. All right. So, John, you zop away. Give me energy path roll. You're gonna need a green.
Okay. Energy path is incredible.
Okay, so you need a 36 or better.
Fingers crossed.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, lodestone. So you're gonna be -1 column shift for each thing. So sleight of hand first, which is agility.
Right. So I have the talent sleight of hand, which is +1.
Yep. So it'll offset the penalty.
Agility's incredible. I need a 36. I really want this to work, so I'm going to spend karma.
Okay.
Oh, 105.
Right. So as you zipping, you go to place this metal pipe on Magneto, and you have to force it in. It's not like a gentle like, here you go, put it in his pocket like you're dropping a plasma grenade in somebody's pants and fall out. You have to force your way through this field that he has. But with a red result, you can definitely get it through.
Then we zip over here. And then I'm trying to basically extract Magneto as far away as I possibly can.
Okay.
Just like trebuchet him to the southwest.
Right. Yeah, give me a magnetic generation roll.
This probably isn't going to work, but I'm going to try. Amazing. Need a 36 for a green. $13 probably won't do it.
Nope. So you tug and you just like the magnetic field that he's generating is so strong that you can't even feel that piece of metal. You have to like kind of really close your eyes and concentrate.
It's all right. Still there.
Okay. All right. Buzzkill, you can give me an energy sheath roll. You need to get a red to turn it back on.
Ooh boy. I better use karma on this one too. 75 from excellent.
Yep. So
to
you
get
need
red 90.
Yep. You need
20.
20. That's not bad. That could have been much worse.
Boy howdy.
And Pip, you can give me an agility check for dodging.
Okay. Remarkable.
That'll give them -2 column shifts.
Green. Excellent. And I'm tiny, so hopefully that's also affecting their aim.
Brings them all the way down to a shift to 0.
Wow.
So they are going to shoot at you. Actually, no, they don't get to shoot you because it's still your guys. So Magneto, he's going to spend karma on this.
Good thing.
Well, I mean, a 12 is still a green.
Jesus,
It's fucking Magneto.
that's true. Yikes.
But, Lozon, you see, well, you moved that magnetic field and it basically kind of threw off the mandroids because of their internal sensors, so their neutralizer lock-ons basically dropped. And Pip and Buzzkill, because you guys are close enough, you can see as they drop, Magneto like smiles and he kind of looks down at you. And he says, "Thank you." And then he raises his hand, and all of the rails from the train tracks, just lift in the air and separate out into 30 or 40, like 8-9 foot long metal javelins.
Uh-oh.
And then he just clenches his hand, and they drop with tremendous velocity, piercing everybody.
Uh-oh. That can't be good.
And yeah, Lodestone and John, you guys kind of, and as you're like, Lodestone, you're reaching out, you're like trying to bring him to safety. And then you just see, like, basically what you feared would happen. He just unleashes on these poor humans.
Yeah, and Lodestone would just kind of lower his head. Like he knows this is happening. He knew it from the start, and he just tried to mitigate it and couldn't, right? Just.
And Pip and Buzzkill, you guys are closer. You get like a very good view of it, and it is violent as this like rain of metal just like through the mandroids, through the guards. Like most of them are still standing, kind of almost crucified in a way.
Out.
Oh no.
Grandfather, that was excessive.
And he does the whole, Magneto kind of folding his arms in front of him as he just kind of like floats. And behind him, like the various assorted buildings are just kind of being pulled apart and dismantled. Like he's not even consciously thinking of it.
Grandfather. And there's no danger here. We have time to have a conversation.
He looks at Buzzkill and Pip. He's like, "Thank you. You've done our kind a great service."
That was the plan, but let's get out of here.
Yeah, please.
Perhaps it's better that we just stay for a moment. I don't believe there's a threat anywhere close.
I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, just give us some cover. Just start to conjure up some fog.
Okay.
They might have a satellite checking down here, or there might be more coming. So a bit of discretion never hurt anyone.
Father will be pleased that you're safe.
I was never in much danger.
Oh, I suppose not. Still,
Gotta go.
we have time. There's nothing that can reach us in the next few minutes that myself and grandmother can't deal with. What are your intentions, Eric?
I believe I will do what is necessary.
Necessary for whom? For you and your race, or for mine, or for the humans?
For all of us, not the humans.
Well, I'm different than you are. Am I one of your enemies because I'm not a pure mutant?
That remains to be seen.
We have came here to ensure that you'd be safe. I would prefer if you would. He just looks around at all these dead people. Keep casualties to minimum.
The time for being soft with the humans is long past.
That's what Father says. And Father's judgment has never been known to be all that clear.
You're on the same page as Quicksilver. There's probably a suggestion that you should have recheck your math, I would say.
Why? Because
He's usually wrong. He's hot-headed and he leads with his emotion rather than his brain.
that doesn't mean he's wrong.
Not always, but he's wrong a lot.
The humans won't stop. Even though they won the war, they continue to round us up, treat us as less than dogs, put us in camps, execute us.
Not every human, and not every country.
Well, then I will leave those other countries alone.
Well, stay off Bleecker Street then. If I can call in one favor for setting you free, just leave Bleecker Street alone.
I have no interest in what Victor gets up to.
Grandfather, this war is falling. Do you understand that you can't win it?
You underestimate me.
I don't. You were just caged and collared. He'll do it again, regardless of the cost. You know I'm right.
I was caught because I listened to Charles. I thought that
Charles
I would.
is dead.
Yes, but his lessons linger.
His lessons were correct
I find
in
it
many ways.
hard to believe that humans and mutants are ever capable of living together in harmony.
Perhaps not here and perhaps not now, but the difference is they fear you so much because of your strength. Perhaps if we could find a way to reach Titan, you could take a sabbatical for a time and see if we can fix this.
And how many of our people will die in the process?
How many of
While
them
I'm
will
away.
die while you protect them?
None who flock to my banner will die.
Grandfather, this is not a war. Not one you can win. And I'll defend the humans if I must.
Then you are not of my blood. Lodestone, give me intuition check.
I'm good at that. I'm fantastic at that.
Much better than being good at it.
No, I'm much more concerned about my grandfather. It's not blue.
So as you're talking, and you can tell, like Magneto,
We're drawing lines. Yeah, I get it.
yeah. You have a feeling that the only thing currently kind of keeping him in check is the fact that you are related to him. But when you admitted that you would protect the humans, that that level of protection goes away. And as you realize that Magneto is quite ticked off at you,
I'm okay with it.
that's a good roll. This bright purple, pinkish energy beam strikes out, hitting Magneto, kind of like knocking him to his feet.
What?
And kind of like, huh, what? And everybody, you guys kind of look around. And you see this slightly larger than human-sized, kind of pinkish, metallic, crystalline, robot-y looking thing.
Oh, fuck. That's a problem.
And
Nimrod?
it seems squarely focused on Magneto.
I'm squarely focused on the exit. My name is Paul, and this is between y'all.
So, declarations. What would you guys like to do?
Flee.
Crap.
Okay.
And fly the hell out of here.
Okay.
At warp speed.
We don't know what it is, right?
Full impulse on. I don't know. I've been wanting to get out of here for a while. This ain't going well. Your negotiation strategy is not working. I'm out.
That's a good call, I think.
And it fires another beam, and it basically, like, Magneto throws his shield up, and it still basically shoves him back. It does not seem to be paying the slightest little bit of attention to you guys.
Good.
Well, I have no idea what's happening, but someone's shooting at the guy we were trying to save. So it probably is a terrible plan, but I'm gonna energy path to grab him and pulls him away from here.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good idea. I'm pretty sure I can't hurt this thing, but if I bury it in a building, that might slow it down. So that's my intent. I understand that Lodestone doesn't know what a Nimrod is, but Tony does. So,
Yep. All right. Initiative time.
Oh God, I'm not even going to win this. Oh God.
So it will.
I mean, Nimrod fights the entire Avengers at once, right?
Yeah.
So
The X-Men at the same time.
So, yeah, he's basically he kind of fires out a beam at Magneto. Basically, just draws him closer, like a tractor beam. You guys are up.
grab him, John.
Look
Yep. Do I need to make a energy bat roll for that?
You do. What is your energy path?
My energy pad is incredible.
Okay. You are going to need to get a red result.
Oh my God.
It's because
Gotta spend some karma on this.
because of the strength of the tractor beam.
All right, nice. Yep, spending some karma on this. Let's roll. 59, and I need a red result and incredible.
So you need a 91. So that's going to be 32.
Yep, I'll spend it.
Nothing like an 80s game to make you math.
True.
Right. So yeah, so you zip up there and you grab him, and the strength of that tractor beam is like you're like crossing your fingers that this is going to work, because you don't want to think what'll happen if it doesn't work.
Take a big breath, close his eye, wish for the best. Put his hand on the wall and zip through the line. Appear next to him. Jump and grab
Okay.
to disappear again.
Zoom. Alrighty.
I don't know up to where I can bring him, but I'm trying to bring him away from that thing.
Basically you travel at the speed of whatever your energy is, so you can pretty much go any place else where there is power. So it doesn't have to necessarily be on the map. You could like zap all the way back to Central Park if you wanted to.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be that kind of far away. I'm just thinking of maybe still in the desert, not like in the, with the population right now. Might be still a bit angry.
All right, but somewhere in the vicinity.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Lodestone, you're collapsing some buildings on Nimrod.
I basically just try to slow it down, right? Make it spend a turn to get out. That's what I'm aiming for. So massive gravitate or magnetic field, basically at his feet.
And
Maybe a grapple with power level or something.
yeah, try it as a grapple. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll spend karma because this fucker is dangerous.
Or dig them up and put them in a pit.
Magnetism
That
is
lots of
amazing. No whammies. Ooh, 24 on amazing. A grapple to grab him. I need.
To get an actual grapple, you need a red, which is like 67 karma. You can get a partial hold on him for you need a 56. So 32 for a partial or 63 for a full hold.
I'll spend 63 actually.
So, I will let you know that the material strength of this building is not enough to actually slow him down.
Like at all?
Like at all.
Then white is fine.
Okay.
I'll spend 10.
Yeah, the material strength of the steel is remarkable, and his unearthly strength.
Oh, wow. Unearthly strength. Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I still move?
You can you like throw building at him, and he just
Walks through it.
just doesn't care.
I'm leaving too.
Okay.
I have to leave by my feet, but
All right. Buzzkill and Pip.
I think I'm grabbing Pip and heading back to Central Park.
Okay.
Yes, please.
We are outgunned, you and I.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a whole fucking lot.
So you guys all zip out. We'll just use up the park map here so you have something to look at. But yes. So we're gonna say you guys aren't actually in the park because you don't know how Logan feels.
Right. You're about to be a lot madder.
we're at the furthest cell tower from civilization.
Okay.
If needs be, I'll zap back to just grab Lodestone. Make sure that we all get together.
So you guys reconvene. You guys, I'll give you the karma right now. You get
I love that Magneto icon.
it's like evil Magneto.
We're getting karma already.
Yeah, I'll give you karma for the escape and all of that stuff. So everybody gets 75 spendable and 75 banked for improvement.
Okay.
And you guys catch up, rematerialize, energy path, fly, etc., to the meeting spot. Say it's like, kind of outside of town, near close enough to a cell tower, but far enough from civilization.
Well, I don't know what that was, but that seems like a big fucking contingency.
It's yet another thing the humans use to hunt us down.
Well, that's way more fancy than what they use on my ass. At least they respect your efficiency. They send their big guns.
This doesn't change what I plan to do.
What are you planning to do?
Planning to carve out a country where our kind can be safe.
Oh.
I don't have a problem with that.
I do.
There's probably 1,000 questions that people should ask right now, but just gonna think of myself a bit for a second. Ask you, what's the place that people got stripped of their power in your thingy? Those who got their power removed by the humans.
There's two types of people. There's mutants and our allies, and there's the humans.
My grandfather, there's three. There's inmutants.
You're with us or you're against us.
Does it have to be that cut and dry?
Yes.
Only it just speaks in absolute. He is 16.
Charles tried the path of peaceful resistance. Look where we are.
Do you expect there'd be a difference if you waged your war, carved your country?
I do not intend to wage a war.
What would Wanda think of this?
Wanda was killed by the humans. So, I think she would be okay with it.
Don't think so.
Well, then, perhaps you should go back to your people. I mean, they fled. They didn't bother fighting.
You're right. They did. But I am here. And I am still fighting.
Then choose which side you fight on.
I choose the side of peace.
Then that will be your downfall.
Perhaps. But if I'm to die, I will die knowing that I'm dying for a proper cause. And not because I've been lost to extremism or have lost so much that I have lost proper thought, a way to look forward. I'm damaged. I understand this. But you can find help. You just need space. Time.
I think I've given humans every opportunity. They have consistently proven to not be worth it.
Xavier has given them time, preventing you from exterminating them. I will not bend a knee to you, grandmother.
Then I hope when I kill you, it will be quick.
You're wrong in what you're doing.
And you guys can all feel this tremendous magnetic fluctuation around him.
Chris, I'm gonna try a Hail Mary here,
Okay.
and I don't even know how I could do it, but I'm gonna try one.
We'll go Hail Mary R.
Well, I mean, if there's a time for a Hail Mary, I'm going to attempt a power stunt.
Okay.
He has a piece of metal on him that he's not aware of.
Right.
I'm going to make it explode,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to kill him.
Wow.
Holy shit.
When the magnetic field rise up, I'm just gonna zap just a bit farther away, just in case the field becomes strong enough for me to not to be able to.
You find you cannot energy path.
Oh, that's what I feared. That's why I wanted to move first.
Yeah, so the intent is to do a power stunt that allows me to essentially detonate metal.
Okay.
Like a bomb.
Yep.
Which is not the flight thing that I was planning, but in this particular situation, I don't know how much health he's got, but it's worth a shot.
So it'll be 100 for the power stunt, and then you need to get a red result.
Yay.
All right, so 100 for the power stunt. I'll spend karma on the red result. I mean, the odds of this working is pretty slim, but we're deciding which side we're on, so let's go for it. And that would be a power stunt. So
Yep.
amazing. Spend karma. 39.
91. So that's 58.
58. 58. Okay.
But we will treat this as a basically as a
Edged attack or something?
yeah, we'll treat it as an edge, so that would be a kill result, so he'll need to make an endurance roll.
Might as well spend the karma, you're going to lose it anyway.
That is a yellow. Right. So he does not lose any endurance ranks. He does take, like, there's this explosion, and he kind of, like, rocks a little bit, and you can see, like, some, like, blood seeping up from where you planted that piece of metal.
Yeah, it's amazing damage. So.
Yeah, he definitely felt it.
Basically, what does it look like?
So load some kind of concentrates for a second after Magneto puts up this this whatever he did magnetically, and then there's this explosion from someplace on Magneto's body, and you can like see like, you know, there's a good sized like hole in like his kind of lower torso. There's blood seeping out. Kind of puts his hand there, kind of clenches his teeth. And then he looks at Lodestone. Says, "It doesn't have to be this way. You guys might want to roll.
Stand down.
You guys might want to roll for initiative."
Yeah, I think so. That should do.
All right. Declarations. I guess we should have done that first.
All right. Yeah. Well, I have metal inside his force field.
Not any longer.
No, it ain't a long. Okay. So this is going to get a whole lot
Because
worse.
it exploded.
I was kind of hoping there's some still inside of him. How do you deal with Magneto? He's still on the ground, though, right?
He is.
I'm gonna punch him in the fucking head.
Okay.
I'll just close in and hit him. I mean, he's fairly fragile if you can get to him.
Yeah. And I mean, he doesn't have his helmet right now, so there's that.
We were
I don't
supposed
have
to
any
be,
mental attacks, but
we saved him so they wouldn't execute him. Not so that we could do it.
I don't want to kill him. I mean, I will if I have to, but
To Pip, it looks like you're trying to kill him.
it does, yeah.
All right. So, Lodestone's trying to punch him. What are the rest of you doing?
Letting the alpha
Step one.
dogs fight. I'm staying out of the way.
I'm gonna try to shrink Lodestone.
All right.
Step one, I'm confused. Step two, since I cannot be energy pad, I'm gonna walk a bit farther away from that, if I can. And I'm using weather control to amplify the wind right now. So if I need to protect myself, I will have already started the thing.
Okay. Gotcha.
Thanks for the backup, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Welcome.
It's only Magneto. It's fine.
Buzzkill, what do you like to do?
I've been considering backing up Magneto here. I don't know you guys from Adam. I am standing back and letting the alpha dogs fight.
All right. So the winds start to pick up and the cloud cover starts to form, and Magneto looks up. It's just like, he kind of looks up for a second, like, this is not his first time being here. When like the storm starts to gather, he kind of looks around for a brief moment.
Storm?
She's the grandma of my wife.
Right. Between Lodestone and Pip, because it might matter, why don't you guys roll a d10 plus... why don't you guys roll initiative between the two of you just to see who goes first?
Between who? Pip and...
Between Pip and Lodestone.
Oh, I was about to say,
you might actually be able to do it. And you do.
All right. So, Pip, you can make an agility check.
Oh boy. Oof. No.
Nope. You reach out to grab him, but he's already moving to go and clock Magneto in the head. Right.
Lodestone, no.
It's that hero question, right? Like, do you take a life to save a bunch of lives, right? I think
I
It's the throwaway once again.
If we wanted to do that, we would have just let the senator do it. Spared ourselves the trouble.
Fighting is remarkable. I'll spend karma because if he doesn't go down, we're in trouble.
What do you mean, we, stranger?
I'm in trouble. 59.
Oh, 59 is a good solid hit. 69 brings it into yellow.
Okay, cost me 10.
Right.
Fighting.
What's your strength?
My strength is actually amazing.
Okay. So you swing, and it seems like your fist just slows down and cannot get through the magnetic field he has around him.
That's what I was fucking doing. I was hoping it was still weak.
His turn. He's going to reach out and touch.
Reach out and touch fate.
The good news is he's not actually a very strong fighter. The bad news is you really don't want him getting a hold of you. So his fighting is only good. So he's got a 50-50 chance.
Exactly 50-50. Oh, God.
Oh, that is a yellow. So he, you're trying to punch him, and you're trying to punch through that force field, and you just can't. Like, you are not physically strong enough to push your way through his force field. And then he just reaches out, and I mean, it's Magneto. You're expecting it to be like, oh, maybe he's gonna, like, hit me with something metallic, but you're smart enough to recognize that Magneto understands the unified field theory, which means he can use magnetism to control any other energy form. And he reaches out, and you feel the molecules of your body start to slow down. And you take 100 points of cold damage.
Cold damage. My weakness is cold, so that is going to take out my powers. And 100 points is like brings me to negative 20. Popsicle.
Well, it's nothing like family, but for knowing your weaknesses, huh?
No, just where to hit. Yep.
Yeah, so the magnetic manipulation, the description is basically you can use this to make any power stat that you want. Like, straight up, it does whatever you want it to do.
Yep. Magneto has monstrous ability to control all energy life forms, can intensify and focus them for monstrous damage out to 20 areas or unearthly untouch.
It was a Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
It was worth a shot.
But he will turn to the rest of you and say, like, when my grandson wakes up, tell him he has chosen poorly. And he will fly off unless anybody wishes to intercede.
No, I'm letting him go. Not much I could do to stop him anyway.
It wouldn't matter. Right?
Buzzkill kind of looks back and forth at you guys and him, and he like takes a step like he's going to follow Magneto, and then he says like "fuck," stomps his feet, and turns back and hangs with you guys.
Oh. Yikes.
Well, I was about to try to drop some lightning between them two and make a wall so they could talk and not punch, but it's a bit late for that.
And Lodson, I'm going to need you to give me an endurance roll.
All right. Endurance is remarkable. Oh, these are really important. I have 13 karma. Might as well spend it. $60 goes to 70. Yellow. Is it yellow? It is yellow. Just yellow.
The kill column of the effects table. Remarkable, yellow, you're fine. You are not losing endurance ranks.
Thumbs up. That was so much karma. Oh.
Holy shit. That was terrifying.
So after about a minute or so, Lodestone kind of like, his eyes kind of flutter, and you can see like his scales are starting to return to a somewhat normal color.
I'll be standing by his face, kind of tapping my teeny tiny hand on his cheek. Come on, wake up! Wake up! You're freaking me out!
Did we win?
Ah! Jeez. No! Are you stupid? Is your brain still frozen? No, we didn't win!
That's unfortunate.
I didn't even have time to get the storm cloud either.
That's endurance rank back, right, Chris?
Yes.
We didn't save him just to kill him. What were you doing? What were you thinking?
I thought that perhaps he would willingly go to Titan, where he would cause more harm. But with him loose, there'll be many lives lost.
If we had left him in his cage, I mean, we would have come to save him, and a lot more life would have been lost.
If we were lucky, then perhaps we could have subdued him and brought him someplace safe. Safe from him, safe from the humans hunting him. But
Is there anyone left on this planet who can talk sense into this guy?
I don't know.
He lost his daughter. He lost lots of people. I get it. I lost my people too, but I don't think there's anything I can say that he's gonna listen to. And from what I've seen, he can stop most things I can throw at him.
Strange is gone. Wanda's gone as well. So he says. Quicksilver won't side with us. The professor's dead.
Carves out a country. He's just gonna be a target for everybody to rile up again. Gaddy doesn't want to live hidden, but maybe hidden would be a better country for us.
The only one that I'm aware of that could potentially stand next to him or up to him would be Black Bolt. If we can get a message to Lockjaw, perhaps we can have a parley with the court. No. Black Bolt does bring his own troubles as well.
Really understand how this is worse than what it was a day ago.
Well, the senator isn't going to kill Magneto.
Senator's not going to kill Magneto.
Can't necessarily say the same in reverse.
I don't see how the Senate. I'm pro Magneto and the senator dealing with each other. And I'm rooting for Magneto.
The trouble is with the people that are going to die don't have a side. The humans
People
don't know
dying
any better.
already.
Yes, there are. There are. I understand this. It's bad. It's terrible. It's the end of the world in its own way. But we should be doing what we can to prevent these deaths. And freeing Magneto does not prevent death. It's going to cause more.
Well, the way I look at it is one side had all the weapons and the other side was just eating bullets. And now both sides have weapons. Maybe there'll be less bullets flying when there's bullets aimed at the aggressors' heads.
Well, now both sides have nuclear weapons. And then we start talking about MAD, where everyone loses, I think. And the casualties aren't soldiers. That's the trouble. When the cops come for the mutants are not soldiers. Most of them are not. And when Magneto goes after the civilians, he's not going after soldiers. It's not a war. Not a war with fronts. It's just blood and death. Is what we'll see. We need to find a way to contact Titan. It's the only out that I see. And to do that, either we need to convince Victor to assist us, or we need to hijack a Stark satellite, assuming there's one still up there. Perhaps a Baxter one.
I just want to stop living in tunnels, hiding in parks. I want to be able to get up in the morning, grab a shower, eat a breakfast, go to school or go to work, come home at night, watch some TV, and live a normal life. We mutants are eating shit, and we can't go home like you can. I'm glad you like peace. Somebody as powerful like as you should prioritize peace. I firmly believe that. But we're being eaten alive here, and nobody's doing anything about it. And now the person most qualified and most motivated to do something about that is out and on his own and preparing to help mutants. I'm having a trouble thinking this is a bad thing or that he should be stopped.
I see. And I understand with your perspective. I do. You're, if you want to have a shower and have food and a normal life, I'm sure John can find you a place. We could take you to New Brunswick or Vancouver.
I want that for all my people. This
That
is supposed to
means
be the land of
we,
this is my country. This is supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I don't see any of that except for in one man, and that's the guy that we just let free.
I think you're going to see something different than what you expect. But it is what it is. He's free and he'll make his own choices. For me, I believe that all life is sacred. We should protect not only mutant life, but human life equally. The line he draws, this black and white vision he has, is it's falling. It's the same vision that the senator has.
I don't disagree. I'm glad you're doing this hippie vegetarian Buddhist stuff, but it ain't helping my people. We've done all this time I've hung out with you, with all of you. The only mutants you've helped is us. It's like we've done a little bit. We've rescued some people from being shipped to a black site prison, and who knows how many black site prisons there are there. This was one mayor that did it. How many does
And
the
the
governor
people on
have?
the
How many does the
train.
president have?
We saved many people.
Well, let's save all of them. Let's stop living like rats.
Happy to do that, but not with the nuclear option.
And when we'll see what we'll see what happens when the senator decides that he doesn't like Inhumans and Eternals and Atlanteans and Asgardians and all that too. It starts taking them down. When he comes for your people, we'll see what will happen. See what you say then.
My father was a mutant. I'm not so much different than you are. Yes, different, but not so much. Regardless, what we need to do is find a new home, I think.
I think so too. I'm still wondering what you'd do if you saw Queen Medusa walking around with a collar around her neck and a shaved head.
I would do the same thing that I did for grandfather and do what I can to help them and everyone around. But Queen Medusa is not Magneto.
How fast would you turn into Magneto to save your queen? In any case, Trevor needs a bio break, so I'll be right back. Sorry for breaking up the social scene, but I think we reached the points, right?
No
That's
problem.
good because Buzzkill's about to backhand it.
All right. So we'll take a quick 5-10 minute bio break and then we will return.
All right, we'll see you in 5 minutes. like a guy that's like save people's lives and uphold the good and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, in this setting, is this really a superhero game, or is it a game with people with powers?
That would depends on what avenues you guys take.
I mean, the superhero, the goodest guy in the group, just tried to kill Magneto. So,
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm thinking that we conquer the United States and we split New York City into North and South New York, and Canada gets Harlem.
I think you're too young to vote.
You guys are all aware of the fact that there is a resistance operating out of Canada, striking across the border. So,
Yes, I would like to join that, assuming I can't get a job with like Doom or Magneto.
alrighty. You guys have had a little hashing out of things. What would you like to do?
Well, that's a damn good question.
I think we need to save the stuff from the old days as much as we can, but we need to find a new place to stash it. We could all bring the stuff and put it in the first place we were in the sewer, but I'd go look at either Baxter or Stark Building to try to see if there's a place in there where we could just nest out. But we should bring the shit we got and hide it somewhere till we find a place.
It's probably the best bet, assuming it's not crawling with sentinels.
Wolverine mad at us? We haven't checked in with him yet, right? Or you guys might have, but Pip and I were off
We're away.
on a bus.
Logan
Or train
seemed quite
or something.
displeased last time I saw him.
From what he said, I'm not sure he's even going back to the park. He might be finding a new spot.
We do have some generators and workshops, etc. That perhaps Pip can shrink down for us to carry with us.
Did Pip shrink Lodestone?
No.
Nope. Just you and me.
And we'll say by this time, Buzzkill has probably reverted back to normal size.
Oh, thank God. That was a long 4 hours.
I'll revert back so I'm not, getting a crick in my neck. How fast will I regenerate that damage?
You regenerate. I did the math on this at one point.
I don't know. I have a note that says remarkable heal every 23 rounds.
Yep. So every
1.5 health round.
Yeah. So you heal 1.5 health per round.
Has time-wise, has it been more than
Yes.
56 minutes, seconds? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Did you say we got to heal? Oh, you got regeneration, right?
Yeah. Everybody who's damaged heals whatever their endurance rank is.
That's only 16 for me. I got to start increasing stuff. How much does it cost to do all this?
So expensive.
I got 430 advancement karma. I think everybody does, right? Chris,
Sure.
what was my power used tracker? I think I was supposed to remind you that the next time I use my power use tracker happens. I forget why.
All right. So if you want to raise an ability score, it's the rank number you're going to times 5. So, like, if you're going from, say, 19 to 20, it would cost you 100 karma. If you want to increase a power, it's the level you're going to times 10.
Yeah, that's very expensive.
Yep. A new power is 1500 plus the starting rank times 20. So yes, raising things is super expensive. Like, power stunts are probably the main way characters are going to change.
Yeah, and you even made that cheap.
It's 100 hero points, right? Or 100 karma to do that.
Yeah, it's
What you change, and then we got to do it 10 times before we get to keep it.
yeah, basically the first time you do a power stunt, you need to get a red, and then the next 3 times you need to get a yellow, and then the next 6 times you need to get a green, and then after you've done that, then you can just do the power stunt free of charge.
All right, so I've done one power stunt, and it was successful, and that was use my electrical powers to defibrillate somebody into consciousness.
Yeah, basically to knock somebody out of stun, which is pretty potent, really.
Yeah, and it cost me almost 200 karma to do it.
Yeah, I think I spent 280 this session.
Yep. Alrighty, so yes, you don't know how Logan is feeling about the fact that Sentinels found your location in the park, but you do have a bunch of shit there.
Well, so I think that we have two options. One, we can find a new place to live and then move our stuff, or we can perhaps go get our stuff, have Pip shrink it, and take it to whoever we find to live. Not sure which one's the best.
The park is compromised. I don't think we can go live back there, but we think we might have some time to get our stuff out.
Should we get our things now and then look for a place, or should we look for a place first? My expectation is that the stuff at the park is relatively safe. Logan will be destroying anything that comes near it. The other concern is if Logan holds us responsible for the Sentinels finding us.
Sentinels had been coming for the park long before we got there.
He's not the most rational man that I've ever met.
Show me one that is.
John seems to be relatively rational.
Yeah, maybe.
Personally, I would prefer to acquire a portion of either the Baxter Building or Stark Tower. There'd be
Why?
technology in there that maybe I can leverage.
Gotcha.
But we're not sure what's in either, so
Let's check into Wolverine first, I would say. Get our stuff. We can carry it. If you can shrink the stuff, we can carry it around like the old cartoons of kids running away with a stick and everything they own wrapped in a bandana and tied to the back of it.
well, I suppose we should get this over with. At some point, we'll have to talk to him.
Maybe he'll just ignore us like he has been.
Perhaps.
All right, let's make our way home.
So as you guys are making your way through the city, because you guys energy path to, like, kind of the outskirts, you do notice that there's a fair number of sentinel patrols around the city. Because they're so massively tall, they're fairly easy to kind of avoid, and they don't seem to be actively scanning. More a matter of an increased presence.
Yeah, we have the little gizmo to make it harder for them to find us, right?
You do. So you,
Huddle up.
yeah, huddle up, because it only affects, like, basically an area sort of thing. So everybody has to stay within, 3 or 4 feet. But yes, you guys kind of huddle up, make your way through, and yeah, it's much more of a presence and a lot of, like, move along, citizen. Not necessarily corralling people, but maybe it has something to do with the upcoming rally, which is happening in like 3 days. Maybe it's just like the equivalent of like an increased police presence for security. You're not sure, but there is a noticeable uptick in the number of sentinels around, including 1 or 2 that look like a shinier model, a newer model than the ones that you've dealt with before.
Crap.
But you do manage to make your way to the park relatively unharassed. And yeah, there is still signs of the fight that Lozon and Logan had with the Sentinels. But there does not seem to be an actual Sentinel presence in the park.
Is there a Logan in the park?
Somebody can give me an intuition check.
Sounds like somebody besides.
Probably me.
Oof.
98 on fantastic.
I would say yes, definitely you.
So yeah, as you guys kind of carefully make your way into the park, you do find him. He's not exactly being stealthy about things. Just kind of looks over at you. It's like, goes back to doing what he was doing, and what he was doing looks to be, basically looks like he's caught a deer or something, and he's in the process of getting supper.
All right. Let the busy predators do their thing. I don't really want to watch that anyway.
Thought I told you not to bring trouble.
I apologize. We weren't quite sure. Perhaps misstep along the way.
Missteps get people killed.
Well, we survived, and well, you have your condition. You think it's best that we leave?
Kind of looks over the four of you. It's like, then he kind of like focuses on Pip ever so briefly. It's like, are you hungry?
Quite.
Kinda. We didn't end up stealing any of the food.
Yeah. He kind of like slices off like a couple of like good-sized steaks off the deer with his claws, and you do notice his claws are not metal; they're like bone.
Solves a mystery.
Does.
I can't send you out onto the streets hungry. You're likely to do something stupid.
Because that would
Stupider.
be a big change.
Yeah, come on.
Thanks.
And he'll lead you into like what looks like a very well concealed kind of like little lean-to setup. Got like a little bit of a fire going. I don't have any plates.
I'm sure we can manage it.
Or knives or forks.
Sticks are fine.
Yeah, I don't really have much company.
Yeah. Neither do we.
Mr. Logan,
Peace.
I understand that we've caused trouble to you and your the place that you live in, and I would like to apologize for that.
What's done is done.
There may be a bigger problem. Eric is free. And Losto just like slumps. Because here it comes.
Well, I mean, one thing about him is he's predictable.
He's angry.
He's always angry.
And there's something else. We ran into a sentinel, smaller crystalline, incredibly powerful.
New models.
This one was something different. Overpowered Magneto.
It was pink.
Oh, that thing. What? Yeah. That was gross on more than one level. Nothing should be that pink. At all.
And dropped the building on it. It didn't even notice.
That was bad too.
Wow. That doesn't sound familiar at all, but pink and purple are kind of their color scheme, so.
Weird, right? Like, is that not really weird?
Makes them stand out. People notice them, pay attention to them.
But pink?
It doesn't really matter what the color is when it's trying to kill you.
Yeah, that's That's true. I just don't want
most,
to be killed by something that's pink.
most things are inconvenienced by being hit by a building.
Oh,
This thing was not. It's dangerous, whatever it is.
Yeah, not really my thing. Basically serve you each of you up like a chunk of marginally cooked deer steak.
I mean, love slows the dragon. I don't think it needs to be cooked.
I'll take mine cooked.
yeah, cooked is definitely better.
You're welcome to stay here.
Thank you.
If you cause any more trouble, though.
I expect that we will.
We'll try to cause it far from here, though.
Speaking of trouble, you know why Doom is on Bleecker Street?
Strange was killed. Somebody needs to be the Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay, I understood some of those words.
'Cause he can.
It's Doom. If he's there, there's a reason. Probably not altruistic.
Well, Bleecker Street seems to be the safest place in the city for mutants right now. There's not so much as a flyer up on that street.
I think even the government and the Sentinels would give pause. But I don't see him opening the doors as an embassy, so.
The whole thing we've met today, what is the price we're willing to pay for freedom, says a lot about what we're willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, he's never been one to care about much beyond his own, so. I guess him and Eric have that in common.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm concerned. How do we turn this tide to our favor? How do we change the minds of the people? We can't do it by force. Magneto's way is not the right way.
It's possible that ship has sailed.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. We have to. If they had no sentinels, perhaps we could find a way to shut them down.
Maybe. I mean, Sentinels enforce the law.
Well, they have police officers and they have the mandroids. They're all dangerous, certainly. But sentinels seem to corral us.
I mean, maybe we just need a symbolic victory of some kind.
Like
I think
what?
the senator's gonna go down soon.
He'll be here in a day or so for his rally.
Well, he was going to execute Magneto in the middle of it, but I guess he's not doing that.
I expect Eric's going to try to execute him during that rally.
Sounds like
That'll make for
something
good
he'd do.
TV.
executing a public figure on TV is what started this mess.
Yeah, the mess has started, and this guy's got some sort of powers of his own. He might even be a mutant. I don't know what's going on with him. He's making people docile, and there's a time limit to it. Getting people on trains and shipping them off somewhere. I wonder if he's got like Xavier's brain in a box somewhere doing this stuff, or maybe I don't know. Some maybe he's a mutant telepath or something. I don't know what's going on, but
I don't know if he's-
That's a very interesting point, Buzzkill. For a man to be so anti-mutant or pro-mutant, depending on how he spins things. I mean, he has power. We know that. That would be a secret. That would be important, yes?
how would you prove it? That's the thing. I don't have a mutant detection device. We could get a call, or first we have to prove that the power is coming from him and not some computer or device or something. Hell, this is New York. He could be a scroll for all we know.
We do have a mutant detection device, more or less.
And that is,
The Sentinel in the basement.
well, there you go. Now that's a good thought.
Now we have a workshop. Might be able to rig something up.
Or do we have the ability to find out the Sentinel's programming? Because if it's a Sentinel that he used, then it would absolutely be programmed not specifically not to attack him.
No, its brain is pretty
To be
much
like
fried, but
be like a white list of mutants on it.
John, you had your friend that was going to teach me how to engineer some things. Yes.
Yep, he's still willing.
Maybe that's a strategy. Maybe it's if we can out the senator as a mutant or a mutant adjacent, that might begin to turn a tide, perhaps.
I don't know if you heard me, but I can bring you to my friend for him to take you if you need this. About when you'll be ready to join.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you guys are going to do, the senator's going to be here for the rally, and then I imagine he'll move on.
Well, I kind of want to be in that rally.
I'm concerned about his powers over the mind. You and Pip were both affected by it. So was I. Listening to a commercial on the television, if I remember.
Maybe radio. I don't know. It's freaky though. But I don't know. I'm not as conflicted, I think. I think anybody that's got too much power just tends to lose their shit.
I don't think that's true.
There's a man with immense power.
Black Bolt's power is far surpasses mine. With the single word, he could crack this planet. He's still just in his own way. There's powers beyond what we've seen or experienced. But power doesn't necessarily corrupt. Absolutely, as they say. Or I like to believe that it does not.
All right. So what's our plan? We get a couple of days before the rally, right? And we get an idea about a mutant detection device.
Right. So plans. What do we got? We got maybe make a mutant detection device to try to frame the senator to be a mutant.
Well, not frame, reveal.
Or reveal. Sure. frame would. I'm happy with frame. We have tried to contact the Inhumans. Seems to be a bit of a cop out, though.
And do we have a way to do it? It would be nice to have Lockjaw around just to get some traveling done.
Oh yeah, can't wait to get him. But I mean, the rally seems to be the biggest point, right?
We made contact with Doom already, so that thread's been touched. We haven't touched the I don't know, underground railroad into Canada yet.
Well, we took what's her nuts to Canada.
Well, she teleported herself when she recovered.
Yeah, we sent her.
Makes it really easy when they could just go there by themselves.
Yeah.
Go to Canada. Unless anyone has anything else, I'm thinking like try to figure out a way to defend against mind control to go to the rally. See if we can figure out this guy's a mutant or something.
Oh, he's definitely.
I'm not convinced on that, but
Really?
it's the working theory.
Well, I mean, if he's not, his guards certainly think he is.
I don't know who this guy is.
Me neither. And I don't care. He's an asshole who wolfed my mind.
Maybe he's the Purple Man.
Maybe.
Oh shit, we're playing Marvel. Oh, that would be terrible. That would be absolutely fucking horrible.
I believe he's a mutant.
He can't do that through TV. Oh,
Not
well,
without
he can. If you're in the comics, it's supposed to show. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
In the comics, he absolutely did it through TV. In his first appearance, even the only one he didn't get was Daredevil because Daredevil couldn't see him.
God damn it. Okay. So I think half the fun of this game is that you're like we're all comic fans, right? So we've all read lots of comics and watched all the shows and all that kind of stuff, and then stuff happens and you're like, what is this? What is that? What is the next thing? And then you're like, Moon Knight turns into fucking Ghost Rider, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, right? It makes sense. I mean, he was the Khonshu's Fist of Vengeance, so Being
I mean,
possessed by a demon of
sure.
vengeance fits. It's logical.
I mean, the mentally unstable Moon Knight with Ghost Rider's powers. That's fine. Fine.
Alrighty.
Oh shit! I have no idea what to do next.
I would say let's work on the Sentinel until we get kill a couple of days, and then we can go to the rally.
Do we want to check the towers, see if we can scavenge any materials we might use? Because in the meantime, before the rally, I don't know.
Sorry, can you repeat that? You're kind of staticky for me.
I mean, hitting. He's asking if we should hit Baxter or Stark Tower because we have some time.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would hit the Baxter first because that's if you're raiding the stuff that Tony Stark has and the stuff that Mr. Fantastic has, at least Tony Stark's stuff is going to look like what it does. Like if it's a missile, it's going to look like a missile. If it's a bomb, it's going to look like a bomb. If it's a TV, it's going to look like a TV. Richard's probably a whole bunch of stuff there that people didn't take just because they don't know what it is and they're scared to touch it.
I was thinking the opposite for the exact same reason.
We better find a secondary home before we need a secondary home.
Just thinking Stark stuff would be cleaned out. Mr. Fantastic's probably a lot of stuff there that nobody wants to bother. Nobody wants to take ownership of.
Oh, look at this couch. It's a fission reactor, but
Man, that's the strangest looking couch I've ever seen. That's actually it's actually Ben Grimm's couch. It really is a couch. It's reinforced.
So good news is Logan lets us stay, so we don't have to move.
Right.
We have what 2 or 3 days before the thing.
Yeah, it's probably getting on in towards evening now, so assuming you sleep and then you have 2 days to the rally.
So 2 days. Do we dare do a thing? We should do a thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Stark is easier than Baxter, but I'll leave it to you
go
guys.
either. You're closest thing to a leader we got, and I like John's point. In chat, we better find a secondary home before we need a secondary home. I think Wolverine's kind of adopted us. That's in his character, but there's a lot of things in his character, and maybe that's not the best thing to be adopted by.
Yeah, because everybody he loves dies.
Feeds me venison.
I'm thinking a day of Stark. Try to make something to reveal the senator, mitigate the damage that Magneto's going to cause when he shows up. That's my plan.
Any flaws in that plan?
I mean, other than the fact that I think those two buildings have great big flags on them. Other than that, no, not at all. Massive targets. Say, look here for mutants.
I wouldn't think so.
That's where I'd go if I was looking for us.
Well, look here for expensive stuff. At the very least, right?
Yeah.
They've probably been raided 20 times a year for the last 20 years. So.
Do we know?
Who's someone smart or known?
Do we know what happened to Stark? Is Stark still around?
You don't know.
We asked Logan.
Don't know. Locked himself in his lab at one point. Nobody's seen him since.
What about the Richards family?
Don't know.
You guys went to space, never came back.
It's possible. Space, other dimension. Don't know.
Microverse. Maybe they're trapped in the negative zone and they're just waiting for somebody to go in there and flip the switch to turn the portal back on so they can come back through. Hey, I'm reaching for straws here.
It's possible.
I think Stark would be first anyway, because that sounds easier.
I agree. Richards is, well, the Baxter building will be highly defended. So would the Stark Tower, but not to the same degree.
Stark may have AI, but Richards will have AI developed by 14 generations of AI in the 30th century or something.
It's hard to comprehend what the Baxter building might have. At the very least, if we go see Stark Tower, as you said earlier, it would be an apple would be an apple, an orange would be an orange, and a bullet would be a bullet, as opposed to the bullet being a trans-dimensional being that transports you to hell or something.
I wonder if Doom raided the Baxter building or the Stark Tower. I could see him raiding Stark Tower. I just don't see him raiding the Baxter building, just because he would think it was beneath him to do it when Reed wasn't there.
And we don't know he's not there, so we should tread lightly.
All right, Stark Tower.
We'll spend some time. We'll see what we could find at Stark Tower, and then learn what we can from the Sentinel to perhaps out the Senator. We do have a couple days.
We should come up with a name for our little team here too. I want to start leaving tags around.
God.
Is that important?
You want to give hope to the locals, don't you? We accomplish big things. Our tag is there. Next time they see the tag, they say these guys were here. Things might be getting better.
And if things go sideways, we're the ones to blame. And it makes us easier to track.
Well, we are all mutants, more or less. Should have a X something, I would think.
This is Trevor talking. There should be like a Marvel zombie series with the X-Men called the Exhumed.
Oh, that's terrible.
Well, you went right to Exhumed. X something.
Well, I went through a lot of them, right? Like Excalibur's taken, X Factor's taken, X Force is taken, X Terminators is taken.
All right, so you guys are heading off to Stark?
Yes,
Sure.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Anybody disagree?
I'm good with it.
So I mean, by this time it is getting on towards evening. And the streets are noticeably emptier, and you do periodically kind of like echoing through the city from where the sentinels are spaced around the city. Kind of this repeating, almost like the sentinels are being used as loudspeakers to say, mutant curfew is now in effect. All mutants must return to their abodes. Curfew is lifted at 7:30 a.m. Kind of just echoing through the city. But thankfully, you guys have a masking device, so you guys are not mutants.
Nope.
As long as we stay very, very close.
Yep.
And John is not very close.
Oh, that's John from a previous map. All right, so you guys make your way, kind of under cover of darkness through the city to the to Stark Tower, which, like many of the buildings in Manhattan, it's suffered during various battles between humans and mutants. It's not the the grandiose structure it once was. It is still partially intact, probably up to like the 5th or 7th story. And you do see, Lodestone, especially with your intuition, you do see what look like some, basically just like your gang or street kids. Look like they're casing the place.
How long has it been, Chris?
It's been probably a couple of hours, so you would be healed up by now.
It's important. For a guy that's been beat up for 3 or 4 sessions.
Yeah, it's a small group of like 5 or 6, probably in like their early 20s. Kind of raggedy looking clothes. Probably just run of the mill scavengers, casing out the building. But almost, they seem very hesitant to Lodestone.
Buzzkill, perhaps you would like to have a conversation with your peers.
Who?
Well, Buzzkill, I thought, but
Sorry? What was that?
Peers?
they're
Peers?
children out there stalking that building. Perhaps you should have a conversation with them.
Why me?
Because they are young and you are young and you seem urban and they seem urban. And
You think we all know each other?
Well, no, none of them are dragons, so
Yeah.
All right.
I could imagine some.
These are just kids, right? They don't look like mutants. They just
None of them look like obvious mutants, no. None of them have like the letter M emblazoned on any of their clothing or anything of that nature.
all right. Any red flags that I'm seeing? I wish I could make an insight roll or something.
Give me an intuition roll.
I've heard of those.
yeah, they're young urban kids. That's a red flag.
Are their sneakers dirty? That was a joke somebody in the audience might get. I don't know nothing.
Nope. They appear to be just regular scavenger type folks. But
They're
half dozen or so of them.
do we have to engage with them?
Well, it looks like they're casing out Stark Tower.
All right. Well, I'll go wander over and talk to them then.
Right. So what do you say as you approach?
Yo, is this the old Stark Tower?
Well, it's not the new Stark Tower.
Think there's anything left up there?
Oh, hell yes. Nobody's been able to get into it. Place is sealed up tight.
Really? That's interesting. Wonder how I could get in there. Got any theories? You look like you guys are going to try. Do you have a good idea?
What's it to you?
Oh, I kind of want some. I kind of want to see what's in there too.
We claim it, dude. Back the fuck off.
Yeah, it's hard to claim something that you can't get into.
And one of them kind of like draws himself up to his full height. He's like about 6 foot. He's like, we said back off, man.
No disrespect. I'm not trying to get in your face here.
This is ours. Come back in 2 nights. If there's anything left, you can have it.
You think you can get in 2 nights when nobody's been able to get in for years?
And somebody's got to do it.
What if me and my crew could help you get in?
We don't need your fucking help, man.
I don't know. If you didn't need our help, if you didn't need my help, then you would have been in already.
He kind of like walks a little bit closer, so he kind of like gets in your face. It's like, we said back off. And they kind of move to surround you. Like, no weapons or anything of that nature. They're just like basically being intimidating.
Well, Pip, should we intervene or should we just let this play out?
I don't know. They don't look terribly scary, especially after yesterday and the person who provided supper. So,
One of them just kind of like, pushes Buzzkill in the,
So I'm still wearing that fake collar, right? I says, "Do you guys see this collar?"
like, fuck off, Muty.
And I take the collar off. What'd you just say to me?
Give me a, let's call this a popularity test.
I'm gonna look at Lodestone and say, "This is what I meant about power." Right?
See,
The,
I am
the
far
human.
more powerful than both of you, and I have not caused any of this trauma.
You just tried to kill your granddad.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Not quite the. See, the humans for a second there thought they had the power, and now things are about to get very bad. Because they don't. And he does. And neither one of them has any idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. So there's 3 ways this can go.
My vote's on the kids.
You can
I mean, if it was me, I'd kick
you
them
can help me and my crew get in there and get a share of what's up there. You can bugger the hell off, or you can wake up in the hospital.
Because the only person that kicking the nuts
Those are the 3 choices that you have right now.
It's gonna be like
And I'll
Wolverine.
tell you what, I'm not gonna throw first, but you can be damn sure I'm gonna throw last.
They'd work fine against him.
I think he's going to get his ass kicked.
So there.
Maybe.
I'll electrify myself up. Energy fields up.
Oh, okay. So what is your popularity?
Maybe not.
Minus 20.
Okay.
That was yours. Don't laugh.
Hey, minuses could be good sometimes.
That's true.
Okay. And you rolled a 73. Ooh, that is a yellow result. So yeah, they like, oh, and they bolt. As soon as like you take the collar off and the energy sheath comes off, they're like, fuck, and they just run.
Not the wisest decisions, but at least you're not in the hospital.
You do know they're going to go tell somebody where we are, right?
No, I do know that they're going to go get a gun. So I'm leaving my energy sheath on.
That doesn't help anyone else.
I would get small if I were you. Maybe they won't see you. Don't
Pip
worry, we
flips
brought a dragon.
And you think he's going to be fine against gunfire?
Well, he's a very intelligent man, and I hope he and John are going to use some of that intelligence to figure out how we're going to get in the Stark Tower. Apparently, nobody's been able to get into it, and everything that was in there is still there.
Has anybody tried flying up?
I would assume so. I mean, I would have.
Those kids weren't going to.
No, but they didn't seem very confident they were going to get in either.
Everybody can give me an intuition roll.
Oh no!
Oh, that's not so bad.
Can you roll it for me?
Yep. Right. Good.
$34 is a green for me.
So everybody except for John. I know as you guys are having this discussion, you see a door at the ground level of Stark Towers opens up. Pip, since you got that was a yellow for you.
Very nice.
Almost a red. So close to a red.
You see a human figure standing in the doorway, that kind of like shaded by the light, so you can't see like any identifying features.
I'll wave. I'll
I
friendly.
got yellow
wave.
as well. Cool.
Oh, did you? You noticed the same thing then too. Right. He kind of motions for you to step forward.
I'll jog over. Because worst comes to worst, I'll shrink and then hit the guy in the nuts.
So as you jog over, see, it's an older black gentleman, probably in his mid 70s, maybe early 70s. Still looks like he's in like decentish shape. It's like, tell your friend that you might want to cut the light show. Draws attention.
Yeah, no shit, right?
All right, Gramps. And I drop my light show.
He's not always the brightest.
Come inside. The others too. Scanners picked you guys up ages ago.
Shh. Pip will wave back to Lodestone and John.
Lodestone kind of scurries along on all fours.
And
I'm so tempted to introduce ourselves as the exhumed.
He's past curfew, so Lodestone's very, 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 very
Do kind of
worried.
stay
Collar
close to the
back
ground.
on. I'll put
You
the
know
collar
what?
back on too.
I could shrink you
No,
and put you on a leash.
you could try.
It's pretty obvious that she is absolutely not serious about that, but she's saying it because she knows it bugs him.
And his response is the same. Like, you could try.
I could claim I picked you out of the sewer systems. One of those crazy mutant alligators that are supposed to be down there. No?
There are some alligators that don't chew their food; they just simply swallow them. And you are very tiny.
That can be.
So,
Hi.
hi. Come inside.
Okay, I'll go in.
Sure.
Door
You know,
closed.
I've heard rumors that people were always told don't accept things from strangers.
Well, I haven't offered you anything yet, have I?
Invitation inside, away from the
But I
whatever's going to happen out there.
do have coffee and cookies.
I ignore those warnings, and I will gladly accept your coffee and cookies. Because the last thing I had to eat was not quite cooked right piece of venison
It was very good.
that I had to eat with my fingers.
Enjoyed
Coffee
it
and
very
cookies
much.
sound amazing. It was kind of tasty, but salt and pepper would have been nice. A plate, a fork.
Apologies. My name is Lodestone. These are my companions, John and Pip and Buzzkill.
My name's James.
Hi,
James.
But everybody calls me Rhodey, so go ahead.
Hey, weren't you like the Iron Patriot or something?
In the past, but we detected some disturbances around the city here and there. Somebody broke into Fisk's private facility. Somebody has been engaging sentinels. Jarvis detected that there was a 92.3% probability that they would come here.
Oh, Jarvis.
So what is it we can do for you here at Stark Industries?
Oh, how much is the rent?
We have no free space.
Damn. I mean, a closet is enough. I can shrink us all down.
Well, you can
I could
probably tell by the
do with
callers that we're mutants, and it's a bad time for
Yes.
mutants out there.
It is.
And we're looking for ways to, with as little body count as possible,
look at Lodestone.
make it a little less bad times for mutants.
Yes,
And then
Pip.
he's going to start looking around because he's never been in a place of school before, and let the grown-ups talk.
And yeah, and he leads you into what looks like a very well-appointed kind of kitchen area. The lights come on automatically as he enters. Coffee starts brewing.
Fancy.
That is pretty cool.
Walls and power. Holy shit.
Well, Tony liked to be prepared.
Where is Tony now?
The stress of events took its toll.
Past tense. Did you not catch the past tense? Sorry.
Mr. Rhodey, I would like to send a message to Titan.
That would take some doing, but I'm sure we can start work on it.
I understand that. We are, let's say, a group of mutants that are trying to minimize human casualties.
That's a noble goal.
Yes. I suppose it is. This war will serves no one. Will not end well for either side.
Wars seldom do.
True. You're a soldier, I think.
I was.
It's my hope to reach the Inhumans, particularly Lockjaw. With Lockjaw's assistance, we'll be able to move around a little bit more freely. This senator's speech is concerning to us.
He's a mutant, by the way. Not Lodestone. Well, no, not Lodestone, but the senator.
If he is, he
Maybe.
doesn't register as one.
Yeah, weird, right? But he can put people under a weird trancy kind of passive thing. And he can do it through TVs, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, they're shipping people upstate to, or they were. They're probably not doing any of that today. They ran out of train rails. They were going to kill Magneto. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Don't watch the TV. Especially if the senator guy's talking. Yeah, we let him out.
That was probably not wise.
That's what I said.
Public executions aren't my thing.
Killing him would have potentially started a riot, so there is no good outcome from that.
See, that was the whole passive senator thing.
That's what I said.
We ended up on a bus going north, and then train cars that didn't have windows or bathrooms, and you know as well as I do that never ends right.
Correct.
Yeah. So, not so sure about the whole, and I haven't noticed it work on people who weren't mutants, but then again, I was under pretty quick. Not my finest moment. But they shipped me and Buzzkill off on the bus and the train, and then I snapped out of it and we got away. And then met up with a guy who was really messed up. And then we followed the tracks and found Magneto and let him loose. So
None of that
nothing.
explains what brings you to my door.
Well, we're still looking for a better place to hide and something that will help protect people, because the theoretically human folk are keen on public executions, and the big ass mutant that we just let loose uh, seems to be kind of hot on the idea too. And none of us think that's a good plan. That's not going to result in anybody living. It's just it's going to be more of an escalation and an escalation and an escalation, and then everybody's going to be dead. And I don't really like that idea. Not enough dead people.
I see.
Basically, we want to unmask the immediate goal is to unmask the senator
Yeah,
and stop his mind control and effect that he's been blanking the city with.
that'd be nice too.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's much that I can do to help you with that.
Could somebody else who's living here?
That's nobody else here. It's just me and Jarvis.
But you said there was no room.
We stay off the radar because we don't attract attention. Sentinels don't come here because we're not mutants.
I was gonna say I shrink really small, and I was wondering if you grew really big, but nope, guess not. Okay.
It doesn't mean we're not willing to help, but we can't risk the Sentinels getting access to things that are here.
We
Yeah.
understand. Um, do
They
you
have.
do you still have your satellite network in place?
No. Tony destroyed the Sentinels, the satellites. He was afraid of what the Sentinels might be able to do if they had access to a global communication network. As it is, their point-to-point communications where they track and register mutant abilities is an issue for those that fight them. Tony made quite a study of the Sentinels before he passed.
Could I see that research?
He kind of looks at you all, and you can tell he's kind of like weighing what you've said. About how you want to protect people, and agreeing with them that although releasing Magneto probably wasn't good, letting him be executed probably wasn't good. He's kind of like judging what you've said. It's like, let's wait here for a second. And he comes back in a couple of minutes with like an old military duffel bag. And he pulls out two things out of it. One of them is a journal. Kind of like, dog-eared, kind of scuffed up. This is information Tony had on the Sentinels. You're aware that the Mandroid armor that the government wears was created by Stark Tech, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Once he saw what it was being used for, and Tony has some issues with how his technology is used. Had some issues. And as he started studying the Sentinels, he started trying to build a suit of armor that could stand up to them. Unfortunately, he was very secretive about it, and I don't know where the armor is. But, and he reaches into the duffel bag and he pulls out a very modern-looking, sleek-looking Iron Man helmet. It's like, I've managed to find a part of what he was working on. Perhaps you might be able to find the rest.
Well, that's a start.
I'm unfortunately too old to go gallivanting about trying to find wherever the hell he hid things.
John stares at the helmet with like sparkles in his eye.
If we had access to your laboratories and your workshops, that would make this a lot easier.
We can give you limited time access. I'm afraid that if you're here too long, the Sentinels may detect it. And while we can hold out for some time, I would rather not have it come to that. But we can give you some access.
That's fair.
We can come by when it's crucial. Did he leave any clue about the rest of the armor?
No, but it's possible that the AI in the helmet may have information. I haven't been able to bring myself to put it on. I'm not I'm not a fighter anymore.
Starting to vote down, and can I try?
Maybe we should take a look at it first.
You're probably right. Like, so tiny.
Let's see what we can figure out before we dive into the deep end, shall we?
I knew you'd say no, but that's exactly why I asked. I could not find a good reason not to do it, and I'm sure you would.
Well, I'm sure it wouldn't fit over my snout regardless.
But perhaps you can find this and make use of it. Help save some people, help some people before things escalate.
We'll try our best. And if you can somehow start work towards sending a message towards Titan, and he'll pull out a piece of paper and write, which looks like complete nonsense on a page. If you could send this, then I would consider it a great favor.
I'll see what I can do.
You have burner phones or anything like that? We can keep in contact.
We can get something fabricated.
All right. Out of curiosity, why'd you let us in, not the kids?
I deduced that you were the ones responsible for the local troubles. We took a chance. Had you proven to be looters or scavengers, it wouldn't be a problem.
Local troubles?
Trouble, right?
Shutting down Fisk's mutant growth hormone facility, attacking sentinels. You know,
Well, that was the liquid they were extracting from them. Just came there to save people. We didn't know it was growth hormone.
it's capable of giving superhuman abilities to humans for a limited time, or enhancing the abilities of a mutant.
Yeah, we found that out. Kinda.
I believe we have a sample of that. If
Quite,
at some point I could use your lab,
it's quite dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I expect so.
That's why we flooded it.
But, like I said, we can make some space available to you on a limited time basis. In the meantime, though, feel free to rest for a bit, safe. We can keep you safe for a few hours so you can get some rest, have some coffee.
Thank you, Rhodey. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we really do.
And yes, as you guys kind of sit around with the Iron Man helmet kind of on the table, drinking your coffee, we'll call game there.
That's
Awesome.
cool. All kinds of cool going on.
Yikes.
If I address the elm and ask him his name, does the elm answer?
It does actually. It says it is the AS1 Mark 1 armor.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
And paging through the journal references something called Project Parity.
Parity?
Parity.
Parody.
Pariti. And the brief notes that you kind of glance without going into depths is essentially looking at a way to not only produce armor capable of standing up to the Sentinels, but being able to mass produce it.
Oh, fuck it, Tony. Come on.
Basically, it seems like he saw this coming years out and started to make plans.
Never trust a guy named Tony.
Well, so far it ended well for me, but we'll see.
But yes, we will call it there. We'll pick up next week.
Really depends on
Awesome. Thanks,
See
Chris.
many of you tomorrow.
And we'll see people tomorrow for Forbidden Lands.
the. Yep.
Awesome game. Can't wait to play it.
Have a good
We'll
night,
see
guys.
you next time.
Cheers, everyone.